Alright everyone, welcome back again to more Slay the Princess. This is probably going to be maybe our third or fourth loop around this whole little ordeal of trying to figure out what's going on with the princess and the entity that keeps taking her every time we get her out of the cabin. I don't know which path I'm going to take this time. I feel like going for the slaying is probably not the best idea at the moment until I can get a better understanding as to what's really going on, unless the princess acts even more weirder than usual. So we're gonna continue on and see where this path takes us this time.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
So you say. The end of the world? What are you talking about? Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up?
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock.
And it doesn't help that the narrator also has some semblance of control over, the environment, or should I say, the narration of this whole story. Like, he literally can control, the entrances, the exits to the cabin. Like, he really wants us to kill the princess.
Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation.
Please do.
Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that.
Okay, the world doesn't necessarily end. The princess just gets taken in by a very, very strange entity with a bunch of hands. And then that entity in it itself loops us back here because it needs us to continue bringing other... I don't want to use interpretations, other new facets? No. Another... it's so tough, man. Like, loops, new alternate variations of the princesses. There you go. That's what I was going for. My mind is just like working overtime right now trying to understand what's really going on.
It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything.
You say this.
Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
If you're so antsy for me to do it, why don't you do it yourself? You seem to be semi-capable of that. Killing a princess seems kind of bad. How do I get a reward? I never thought we'd get a reward. Did we? No, because every time I slayed the princess, she killed us. We both died at the same time, so I never got that reward. Okay, thanks for telling me what to do.
Don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed...
Hold on a second. Cool. Alright. Alright, what do we have here? Yep, proceed.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
Okay, I want to see this new variation of the princess. If it's the same one as before, then I'll take the blade next time. Until then, I'm not going to do that right now.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
We're just entering. We don't need the blade. I'm not going to scare her right now.
The door to the basement creaks open, her voice soft.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of... Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous...
Alright, do I wanna... Let's enter the same way I normally would. We'll go down.
Good. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
Alright, you know what? I did this before. Let's try this one. I'll see what I can do.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake.
How about you let me worry about that later?
No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug.
Because if I don't help her now, she's gonna bite her wrist off or whatever. It's gross.
They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Yeah, because why would you do that, right, Mr. Narrator? And if there isn't a key, do you have any other ideas? I'm gonna check upstairs. Maybe the key's still lying around somewhere up there. And if not, maybe I can at least find something to break you free. That's all the choices I have right now, right? Okay.
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place.
Here we go again.
Is someone else here?
Okay. I tried the door before. I'm not gonna yell because it just seems pointless. You know what? We'll try it. Hold on, what happened? It skipped. Your shouts and pleas are met with silence, obviously. I'll repeat myself once again. You are here to slay the princess and you won't leave until the task is done. Okay, so I'll return back and she's gonna do something disturbing, right?
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside.
Alright.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She
Here we
barely
go again.
hesitates as she or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
I don't want to slay the princess this time, but I might have to try a different alternative because we did this before. Because we're going to get the same ending as before. Alright. Let's go. New ending.
Without hesitation, you bring the blade down and plunge it into the princess's back. Finally. The wound drives her to the ground. Okay. There's no going back now. I'm with you to the end.
You bastard. Were you lying to me this whole time?
Ah, there it is again.
The princess pushes away from you, the motion ripping the blade from her back. Wounded, but still alive, she crouches on all fours in the corner of the room and meets your eyes with the ferocity of a cornered predator.
I wonder if regardless of what I do, I'm supposed to slay her. Because if I continued on with the same choices I made, I'm pretty sure I would have gotten the same endings before. Or technically, I could have freed her if I brought the blade with me. You know what? It's fine. What's done is done.
You've made a terrible enemy, and there's nothing in the world that can possibly save you from me.
I thought we had the upper hand, but it's as if she's barely even threatened by us. It's an act. She's wounded and unarmed. There's nothing she can do to hurt you. I'm not so sure. Don't waver now. As you ready your blade to deliver a lethal blow, she lunges at your legs with the same animal ferocity she used to tear at her arm. Your knife cuts into her again and again as you're tackled to the ground, your body racked with pain as she rips into you with tooth and claw. Forget about trying to rescue her. This is about survival now. Give her everything you've got.
Alright.
Though your nerves, you seize a moment of hesitation to throw her off of you and shakily push yourself back to your knees. We can still turn this around.
Finish the job, run for the stairs, lock her in the basement, maybe she'll bleed out. Why would I give up? I'm already doing this. Let's
You
go.
steel your resolve and take another step closer to the princess. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can still make sure that she won't make it out of here either. Excuse me? What's this about not making it out of here alive? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone in this room is still standing right now. Don't act so surprised. Can you not feel all those gashes and holes pulling you apart? If the princess doesn't do you in here, blood loss is certain to finish the job. You take another step forward, and the princess lunges towards you. The two of you enter one last exchange, a flurry of blade and claw and fleshy ribbons. And then you stop. Neither you nor princess able to go any further. You collapse on the ground, and the princess collapses beside you. Blood pools around you both, and you watch each other fade away.
After all this time alone, I thought I'd finally found a friend, but you were just another monster, weren't you?
Silence as the room starts to get fuzzy around you. You've paid a terrible price, but you've saved us all. It's over.
If you think this is it, you're sorely mistaken. One way or another, I'll make sure you pay for this.
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die.
The witch.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Okay, let's try something new. I'm gonna save over here, and then I'm gonna load this file.
You're on a path in the woods. You're
Alright,
here.
skip. Go down, and no, just tell me what
Don't
to
mention
do.
it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up the short path. We're not going to go through. Ignore him.
And then proceed.
The interior of the cabin. The blade.
Yep. Alright, we're gonna take the blade this time.
You take the blade from the table.
And then we enter the basement.
The door to the base. Her voice.
Who's there?
She
Different.
sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge. Don't let it fool you.
Okay. Continue.
Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
No way. Okay, yeah, you caught me. I'm here to no. I haven't decided yet. I'm just here to talk. Why would you even think that? Because I got a blade. I'm just here to talk. Is there any other option? No? Okay.
Then why did you bring a knife with you? How about you drop it, and then we can chat?
She makes a compelling point. What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Look at her. It's not like she's a threat. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Alright, we're dropping it.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
That was the goal.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed.
He sounds upset.
We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Yeah, it is pretty awkward. A relationship? Are you coming on to me? How would I get you out of here? I'm here because you're supposed to end the world. There's people out there who think you're going to end the world, What do you have to say about that? What's your name? How long have you been down here? Do you know why I'm here to kill you? Okay, let's go with how would I get you out of here?
You can't. Don't bother.
Let me ask, Mr. Narrator.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right?
Well, if she's suggesting that we use the blade to cut the chains, then yes.
She is. I'm sure of it.
Okay. What's your name?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
So when I decided to not bring the knife downstairs, she was sweet. Then when I decided to bring it with me, she's guarded, understandably so, but also rude.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
Dude, I brought a knife. Of course she's gonna respond this way. Alright. There's people out there who think you're going to end the world. What do you have to say about that? How long have you been down here?
Too long.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
Well, let me try, man. No. Yeah, it's pretty awkward.
I know. I just said that. Now why are you here to kill me?
I have my reasons. Do you think I just come here to kill someone without even knowing why? That'd be ridiculous. Do you know why I'm here to kill you? I've been told things I'm not sure what to believe.
Believe me.
And do you think asking me what to believe is going to suddenly make everything crystal clear? Let's not pretend that's going to happen. As far as you're concerned, and as far as they're concerned, I'm going to say whatever I have to get out of here. That's just the dynamic of our situation.
Not necessarily, as long as you don't kill me, I don't kill you, I get you out, we're good. Okay, there's people out there, that's it. Okay.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
I'm getting you out of here. I'm gonna keep you locked away down here, at least for a bit. We can get to know each other better while I decide what to do. Nah, I'm getting you out.
Oh, you have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
And if there isn't a key, same thing as usual.
I'll be here.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement. Is someone else here?
Okay, let's try this again.
You try the door, but it's locked. You're here to slay.
Yep, okay, go back.
You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to.
We're good.
Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Yeah, the response is like night and day, because in the original, not the original, when in the other loop prior, when I didn't bring the knife down, she was sweet. This one is just, well, yeah, the best way to put it is she's just upset, guarded, and very much so, like, dulled out.
The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
Well, I'll take my chances. She probably will kill me, but at least we'll get a completely different ending scenario. Let's save her.
Against your better judgment,
Why are you...
You place the blade against the princess's arm just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh.
Why are we cutting into her flesh? Why don't you just cut the damn chains or try to?
The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye.
Is she gonna hurt me now?
How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Alright.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
Nope. Warn her.
Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it! Stop! Resist!
Okay. Resist. Is there anything else? No? Resist.
The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes.
That's a completely different response and a completely different look. I like this.
I'll make this quick.
Nope, she's gonna kill me.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
Yeah, it was a different response, a different new scene. I'm cool with it. The prisoner.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end...
Okay. No. It's like you're here to slay. If you don't, it'll be no.
Oh, don't you start grandstanding about morals. The fate of the world is at risk right now, and the life of a mere princess shouldn't stop you from saving us all. Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. I wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying.
Is this a new voice? We had the Smitten. We had the what the hell was his name? The fighter. Now we have the skeptic.
I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you two, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. And as far as trying to help her goes, need I remind you how catastrophically dangerous she is to the world at large? I told you about the stakes of this situation less than a minute ago.
Let's assume I'm telling the truth and all this really did already happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing? Wait, proceed to the cabin, man.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she... Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink. Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't. Wink.
I like
Just
that.
ignore this clown and focus on the princess.
Okay, we're gonna save here now, and we'll see how this plays out.
The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison.
Alright, so maybe I won't bring the knife this time. Try and talk to her.
The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
He didn't say anything about the mirror. Alright, let's touch the mirror again as usual.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But there was a mirror a second ago, and now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back.
Alright, enter the basement.
I'm afraid I'm going to insist we take the blade. We're in a dangerous situation and I'm not letting us go down there without a weapon.
Are you sure? What if she, I don't know, turns it against us? Which I'm bringing up in a purely hypothetical manner.
Yes, I'm sure.
Turns it against you? She's a prisoner here. She'll only be able to turn it against you if you give it to her. Which you won't be doing because she's an existential threat to the entire world. Okay. I'm trusting you.
Yeah, don't I get a say here? That's a big idea.
Normally, yeah, but not about this. Call it a reflex. We take the knife as we go.
Wow.
You do exactly that, sweeping the knife from the table before proceeding to the basement.
Jeez, so much for that.
Don't worry about it. We have a knife, so what? It's not like we have to use it. No, you don't have to do anything, but you do well to use it regardless. Moving on.
Round 2.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favour. Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
Oh, that red text.
Does she remember us?
She probably does.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap.
Now the chains are on her neck and both her wrists.
Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraints? If anything, they'll make your job easier. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
I'm not trying to do much of anything. Do you see how locked up she is? I'm just going to leave her here. Leave the princess in the basement. I'm going to sit with her.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
Yeah, I'll listen to you. You want to be cool with it? We'll be cool with it.
You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
I've been here before. Am I the only one who remembers that? What happened after I died last time? Was it for? What would you have me do? I think I'm just gonna leave you here, actually. You're not much of a threat to anyone. I'm not gonna... No. Why is everything... Oh, God. Okay. I've been here before. Am I the only one who remembers that?
Oh? Are we acknowledging that? I thought we weren't going to give away the game. But yeah, I remember.
Great.
First you make a comment about having been here before, and now this. As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's no use. This has complicated things.
It's complicated things how, exactly?
Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to oblivion. The situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things, is a contingency.
A contingency for what?
Exactly.
For you failing, obviously. And you being here means that things are going to be a lot harder than they were. I really shouldn't say anything else, I'm just going to make it worse. Just... good luck.
What if the narrator is the entity?
If you knew this could happen, why didn't you tell us? All of this is incredibly valuable information. It would have changed our actions considerably.
I needed you to be in the dark for as long as I could keep you there. It's important. Necessary, even.
Yeah, necessary for you to manipulate us into trying to slay the princess. Thank you.
And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. I didn't want to be confronted by the alternative.
That's pathetic.
I never said I wasn't.
I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself. At least we can remember what happened before. Seems like we should count ourselves lucky for that.
Exactly, he gets it. You're lucky, so don't waste that luck by messing it up again. Alright?
We'll see.
Moving on. Why is it important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful to be in the dark?
The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Even saying that is too much. Your success hinges on you having imperfect information. For the sake of the entire world, you need to accept that.
Well, I don't.
I won't.
Well, there you go.
Fine, but you won't get another word from me on the matter.
Alright, fine, then you let me do the things I want to do my way.
Yeah, sure. We'll see about that.
Just give it a rest, this isn't helping.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming.
Believe me, lady, that's far from what I'm doing. Okay, you were asking about my intention earlier. What did you mean? What happened after I died last time? Who was it for? Okay.
Nothing happened. You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. More of them.
Okay, so every time I die, it's like a new level for her. She gets repurposed back into this dungeon and with new, what do you call, cuffs or chains.
And now you're back.
Is that really all she knows?
It's not like we have much of a clue about how things work. And she's probably even more in the dark than we are.
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something. I'm not.
I guess it's possible she really doesn't know anything. Maybe both of us are stuck in this loop without any idea why or how.
Yep, the skeptic knows, because we don't know either, at least not entirely. Okay. What would you have me do? No. Okay.
I don't know, but you could always try it on.
No, I'm good.
Maybe it'll fit.
I'm good.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in chains. We need you ambulatory if you're going to save the world.
Oh, hold on a second. Inspect the shackle. You know what? Inspect the shackle. Let's be stupid.
And why is that?
Do I even need to explain myself? It's a shackle, and it's one without a key. Do you want to be stuck here like she is?
And what? Is it going to lock the second we put our wrist into it?
I don't know. Maybe it will.
He doesn't want us to look at it. That's all the reason we need to investigate.
But what if he's telling the truth?
He isn't.
I am.
Alright, inspect the shackle.
Against your better judgment, you approach the chain dangling from the far wall. The princess watches you with faux disinterest as you inspect it, though she can't fully hide her curiosity. I don't want to say what I'm supposed to say next.
What is that supposed to mean? It sounds bad. Is it bad?
Yes, it's bad.
Come out and say it then. You're just wasting time.
Fine. As you hoist the shackle, its heft shifts within your grasp, as if pulled by some odd magnetism. Before you can so much as blink, it practically leaps from your hands, snapping around your neck.
Like magic, of course.
And, as if your situation weren't bad enough, the same magnetism repels your blade, which is flung from your hand and sent skittering across the floor of the basement.
Excuse me?
Yes?
Are we stuck here now?
Become your own jailer.
Yes.
Awesome.
Huh, so it does fit. And I guess it doesn't like your knife. We're stuck here together, aren't we? That's funny.
Yeah, I find that hilarious.
What are we supposed to do now?
Can't even cut ourselves out. Guess we'll starve.
That's horrible.
It's not all bad. We learned a valuable piece of information.
Not to touch things we're specifically told not to touch.
No, that there's something special about this loose chain. It's clearly important.
So we're both stuck here. What should we do?
Wait, I guess. Maybe something else will happen. Maybe not. No.
Okay. Not one for small talk, are you?
Nope.
That's rude.
Heh.
You and the princess wait in silence, though neither of you knows what you're waiting for. But you're waiting for something. You're waiting for anything.
This is so boring.
There must be something we can do to get out of here. There must be something we're missing.
But there isn't. Time passes. It passes and passes and passes. And the basement of the cabin remains much the same. It is cold and silent.
At least the world is safe.
The way this wall is drawn, it looks fake. But that doesn't help us because we're still chained.
It isn't. You're stuck. Too far away from both the princess and your blade to do much of anything.
But she's not ending anything. She's just sitting there.
Her very existence is a threat. It harms everything around it.
How exactly does that work?
It just does.
But
Your line of questioning is interrupted by the passage of even more time. And after that, even more time passes again.
And let me guess, the cabin remains the same.
if time is passing, the cabin can't be the same. Even if the differences are small, they have to exist. That's just how things work.
I wonder if I hover over any of the dungeon's areas, the walls, like if my hand will turn to a different symbol. And if that's the case, we may have a way out, but we have to be very observant, I guess. I don't know. Do we hover on the princess? No, we do not hover on the princess. Everything here is still the same. Maybe now? Oh, it's changing, yeah, look at
I suppose
it.
you're correct. Things are changing. The differences are small at first, a bit of weathering here, a bit of erosion there, but then they get larger and larger.
I don't like small talk, remember?
Still rude.
Still, I guess we're gonna continue waiting in silence. Oh, it's getting worse. Oh, what is this?
You continue to wait in silence, and the cabin continues to change. The decay comes faster now. You can see earth through holes in the stonework, can watch lichen spread along the seams of the walls.
That doesn't make sense. Has our entire concept of time changed? What happens to starving? We should have died by now if the rocks around us are starting to erode.
She hasn't starved.
I guess she hasn't.
Uh-oh.
Even more silent time passes as you watch roots push themselves through the increasingly porous walls of the basement. Dirt seeps inside, flowing across the stone floor like a liquid, covering the ground and threatening to swallow you both. Time continues to pass, and pass, and pass, until suddenly there are no walls. And then... And?
I think he's gone.
Oh, here we go again.
Would
There
you
it
look at
goes.
that? We made it out of the cabin, and nothing bad had to happen to either of us. So this is the outside world. It's cold.
It's gonna take her again. Unbelievable. Every time. But you do not get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Explorer, of course you're scared. This is the end for you, but it's not the end for me. It's going to be okay. Just trust me. We've been here before, and you always get scared.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything.
You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me back. Fear.
Alright, let's do this. You approach the mirror.
I don't like that silence.
The voices feel small, distant as you approach. We only did 2 chapters of this part. You withered. Oh, I withered. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. You are at the cabin. Here we go again.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction. A mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
You can't be a contradiction. Contradictions don't exist. How can you stand to be a contradiction? It doesn't matter how many times I go back, at least one of us always hurts the other. Doesn't that change you? Doesn't that make you worse? Okay,
It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me?
If anything, it makes me like you more. I don't know what that says about me.
It says that your heart is gentle, that even in the darkness you are guided by compassion.
Okay. What do you think of this vessel? You know that... No. Do you happen to know what happens to the world we leave behind? Have you figured out what you will want when we finished?
The desires of my multitude thrive in endless competition with themselves, but none of them rise above their dance to influence me. I yearn for what I have always yearned for, our awakening. Other desires shrink in the light of knowing you and knowing me.
Okay, how about you can't be a contradiction? How can you stand to be a contradiction?
As easily as you can stand to be you. You are like me, even if you have chosen not to look at the corners of you that do not fit. Even if you have chosen to ignore the brilliant contours of your soul.
Okay.
And yet my waters flow and my streets bustle. There are no words that can describe me into non-existence. There is no logic that can bind my multitudes. I am everything that you have known me to be, but I am also none of it.
Okay, you know that at the end, do you happen to know what happens to the world we leave behind? To the worlds?
My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage do not offer me hidden truths, and my attention is turned inward, except when you are here with me. Perhaps this will change when our work is done.
Okay, you know at the end of this, now, do you still not care what I bring you next? How many more vessels do I need to bring you?
We will know when we near our destination.
Oh, I guess you'll inform me. Alright, what do you think of this new vessel?
This one is cold and cynical. She has protected herself when others could not. She will make for a clever heart. Do not mourn her. She doesn't need to be protected any longer.
What happens if I destroy my body? It's kind of senseless, though. I might save this for later, at another time. I'm not gonna do it. Nah, we're good.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Everything goes dark, and you die. Again. Bring the prisoner to her.
You're on a path. You're here to...
Okay. Alright guys, I'm going to end it here for today. Thank you all for watching. I ended up getting several different outcomes this time, and it's a surprising one. I'm trying to see how I can get the ones where the princess is really nice and gentle, and then getting the ones where it's in the middle, like what I just had now. And then obviously the third and last option where I'm just continuously fighting her nonstop until whatever, whatever changes in the various outcomes we come across. So if anything else, we'll continue on again in the next one. Thank you all for watching.